All right, all right. It is time to have a brilliant conversation with someone special, someone that I feel like is super close to my heart now because of what she does. I'm speaking about Efe Tobori. She's also known as Madam Mommy Maho. Mommy Maho. Now, she is super skilled, she is super endowed, and she's someone who takes it upon herself to make sure that she takes care of displaced children. Can we say that? Displaced children from abuse, from what else? What else do you really do?
Okay. If we call them displaced, it makes them feel less appealing.
Okay.
So I gave them a name called Docte.
Docte?
Yes.
All right.
And it means disadvantaged and underprivileged children, teenagers and youth.
Okay.
So the essence of the Docte, it's a mission drive, is to be able to care for them, feed them, and then educate them. So my home is opened in my community in Aja, where we have 54 children and 25 youths. We open our doors for feeding, clothing, hygiene. They use the toilets, the bathroom, because a lot of them don't have homes to stay in. And then we educate them.
All right.
So I have tutors and the rest.
Awesome, awesome. Now, the first time we met, when we had, I was somewhere just listening to you speak, and then you were talking about the children, and then what really got to me was the name, the brand name, Mommy Maho, Mommy Maro.
Yes.
And I know you were telling the story to someone else, but I was really interested. Why do they call you that?
Okay. My husband actually grew up in Okera, Okera and La in Aja. And so when I moved there, I noticed where I am coming from, you see an elderly person coming, you know, you give way for the person to pass. But there they will just want to, you know, hit you. And then I will slap them. I'm like, what's that? You see me coming.
You say something.
You clear the road. And then when you are greeting, you say, yes, ma, yes, sir. And then I now notice
that respect.
I now noticed they didn't have that. So I used to, you know, beat those children on the streets. And they will go and report to their parents. And then they will say, who did that? They say, it's one lady. And because they didn't know my name, they knew my son's name. They say, I'm Mommy Maro. So that was how the name went around.
What's your son's name?
Maro.
Oh, lovely. I like that. And then he just stopped.
So then from there, everybody, anything, when Maro is coming, you know, everybody cleared the road. And so that was how.
It reminds me of, you know, growing up at the time, there was always one lady in my street that time, where once you just hear her name and you hear, oh, she's coming, everybody will just clear and then make sure the place is quiet. But that's really awesome what you were doing with your foundation. When did your foundation start, the Maro's Foundation?
We started when we moved into Okera. Now, when we got to Okera in 2015, there were gang wars. I'm sure you would have heard about that. Yes, there were a lot of shooting and then a lot of teenage pregnancies. There were too many chaos. And my children will grow there. So I had to take it upon myself and said, if we keep letting it just, you know, don't do anything about it, it will go beyond what we can handle. So I decided to start finding out where all these children on the streets live. And then I found a lot of them lived in uncompleted buildings, some in wooden houses.
How old are we talking about? How old?
Oh, okay, like we have 2 years old. Yes, from 14-year-old teenager.
Wow.
So she's in school, the son is in the, so while we are teaching her, the child is with me.
Wow.
They all come to the compound, and then we have 25. Now we have 30. We have a 30-year-old from an abusive relationship. She was actually taking, okay, now, you know, because they think Lagos is the in thing, a lot of parents give out their children to come do labor work and the rest. Now, this lady that I rescued, she just clocked 30, was brought in at 14, and she was abused.
You said 13, yes?
Yes.
All right.
And she was abused. And in the process, the guy is always beating her and everything. So I had to rescue her. So she and her 3 children live with us.
Wow.
So that's how, you know, from there, we just, thanks to my husband, if he didn't open his doors to his house, I don't think I would have had the access to be able to do so much. So that was what we did.
I want you to play me the perfect scenario, because I am trying to think about it from how you get the children.
Okay.
Because I can imagine some of them would probably have parents who are not in support of this. Even if they're not willing to, you know, I can just imagine a mother say, oh, I'm not willing to take care of my child the way I should, but I'm not willing to just give my child to you. You know, but what's the process like when you see a child on the streets? What happens from there?
Okay, so when I see a child, most times When I say a child just roaming, I try to watch. Every time I see the child, maybe once, twice, I will
Wait,
now
so when you
ask.
say you try to watch, do you mean you or your team? Or
No, it's just my husband and I, but actually myself.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I go buy things myself, and then in the process I go around. They know me.
Okay.
I go everywhere.
Okay.
So by going there, I will look, and then I will ask you, where do you live? Have you eaten? That's the first thing I noticed. Food is the one thing they used to get them. So I ask, have you eaten? And they will say, no. I was okay, where do you live? And then I go to their house. And then I meet the parents. I was like, why? Now, because even though we live in Lagos, it's not developed like that. So I'll have to speak pidgin. Mama, why you know feed this boy or this girl? And then they'll say, no food, or I cannot afford it. And most times they have so many children.
Wow.
So I said, okay, I feel take them, make I train them. But you go, they come house and everything. And then she said, okay.
When you say you go to come house, so
As
you go
in
to come
no-
house like weekends or?
They don't go again, no. So they
Okay,
just come
so you
to,
just say.
so they just come to visit.
Let's make sure that's very clear so that people don't get
Yes,
the wrong
the wrong
interpretation.
impression,
Yes, so what
yes.
you're saying is there is an opportunity for the child to go home if
Yes.
they want to.
Oh, yes,
But
they go
most
home.
of the time they choose not to go home.
Yes, and I always
Okay.
force them to go.
Okay.
Because I don't want them to now, because they are now a bit comfortable, they'll now think, oh, I can't stay in my house. You know,
But every child loves comfort.
yeah, but also appreciate.
If you tell me you're giving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'll come.
But I
I'll
always
come
want
here.
them to appreciate
All right.
that you are privileged to be picked from your siblings.
Yeah.
So I always make sure that every weekend they have something to take back home.
All right.
You know, just, oh, mommy and daddy take, and not every one of them have a mommy and a daddy. We have those that the father actually lost his wife 5 years ago and didn't know. So his children were scattered around to different homes. So we had to go get all of them.
All right. So when I was looking through some of the pictures that
Yes.
you sent, I could see that there are amazing activities. They were
Yes.
playing chess.
Yes.
They had like I could tell that it was drama. They had
Yes.
like a drama sketch or
Yes.
something. What else happens when they are there?
Okay, apart from learning to read and write,
Yes,
we
what else
also
do you
teach
do?
them financial literacy,
Ah.
and we teach them coding and programming. We teach
You
them
teach
robotics.
them coding and programming. You
Yes.
teach them financial literacy.
Yes, because they are street
wow.
children. They don't
This is
have
good.
time. They don't have time to sit in a normal class. But my own is I'm trying to as much as possible make them get at least, if nothing, their normal diploma. So you have an SSC, WAEC,
Okay.
and then also teach you how to be self-sustainable. So you can go out on those streets and then be able to take care of yourself, not joining gangs and
True.
getting pregnant and then having babies and then giving the government more work.
I am sure you also spend time teaching them about these things.
Oh
about,
yes,
you know,
we have moral
abstinence and all
values.
that.
Yes, we have
Oh,
moral
lovely.
values. We have character attributes. I always tell them because they are street children.
But
anywhere
how
we
do
go,
you do you have like teachers
Yes.
that speak their language? What I mean is for those I don't know. I
Yes,
don't know
we
your
have a lot. We
background.
have even those from Cotonou.
Oh wow.
Yes, we have those from Benin. We have from Niger. We have from Borno.
Alright.
So what we do is when they come in and they can't speak English, we have someone that puts them through. My husband
What
is
is the
very
what is
good.
the highest amount of what's the highest age for anyone who is you it can take from 2 to what
Yes,
age?
to 25.
25.
Yes.
All right, to
So
25.
yes, the reason why we pegged it at 25 is because most of them at that 25 they're already formed. There's not much you could
Can do.
Yes.
All right,
So
awesome,
and we
awesome.
don't force them because it's not all street kids that want to be changed. A lot of them like the streets.
Okay, so finally, I know one way or the other you would also need support, you would
Yes.
also need help.
Yes.
What are the things that you require to help you build this? Because I know at
Okay.
a point the space wouldn't be enough to take more people
Oh,
in.
we still have a lot.
So
a
what are
lot.
so what are those things you would really need to help, push
Oh.
this dream higher?
Like now we need a facility for the hostel. Our hostel has really run down. So most of the children have to go back to their different if you go even to our social media pages, you see that a lot of them live in not good conditions.
Okay.
So we really need the hostel, and then I need a bus where I can take them to church. So we have the Muslims that go to mosque. So, but most of them always want to go with me to church. We have a very small car.
Wow.
So we can't afford to take them.
to church.
And that Sunday, I don't know what they are doing. So
Because you
I-
have to go to church.
Yes. So
All
in a space, most times we actually lost some of them because
Wow.
last year they came to the cult boys from Ikorodu came to Ajah and then they killed some of our students. So those are the things that we are trying to protect. We can't
So
protect
security
all.
as
Yes.
All right, it is indeed a lot. First of all, Mommy Maro, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
What I'll probably do is share the pictures, some of the pictures that you sent,
yes,
so
no
people
problem.
can see it as well.
No problem.
It is very important that we show love, humanity,
yes.
as much as we can. It is really, really interesting that you are doing this. Thank you so much for your heart, your commitment as well.
Thank you so much.
All right, do not go anywhere. The show continues, all right? The show continues. It's been a great one. For those of you that have been singing my right song up and down, I'm going to catch you guys. You heard the song, right? You like the song,
native,
right?
Yeah, I like the dance moves.
The dance moves?
Yes.
You don't like the song?
I like the song.
You didn't say I like the song. I like the song.
I like the song.
Don't like my song, go. Don't like my song, go.
But there was no snail.
I'll come to your house. I'll come to the house. All right, thank you. Just joking.
No
Just
problem.
Joking. All right, thank you so much, guys. Do not go anywhere. The show continues. We'll be right back. Still Wake Up Nigeria, okay?